Before I start this lesson, I'd like to give all praise and glory and honor to Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahweh Shai, Ba'ashem, Rakakwadash. Double honor to the apostle, elders, the great millstone who rule well and teach well. Shalom to 144,000 men that's pushed to give believe in this word and all true sincerity and sacrificing lives and wills to do so. Shalom to the men, women, and children that's tuning in and listening. And shalom to the Israelite foreigners scattered abroad on all four corners of the earth. The Heavenly Father name is Yahweh. His only begotten Son name is Yahweh Shai. And Lord, one of this video edifying, quick, and straight to the point. This is breaking news. Recently, this week, over in Europe, you've been having power outages in Spain and Portugal. And we know that with everything that's going on, these people are not ready for a power outage. These people aren't ready to fight for their lives, and these people don't know how to conduct themselves without their daily vices and needs and really wants. So I'm gonna read this article right here. I'm probably gonna make a part 2 of this video, but I'm gonna read this article right here, and then I'm gonna go ahead and get some precepts. So this is on the NewYorkPost.com, NYPost.com. Rare atmospheric phenomenon causes massive power outage in Europe, and it could even happen in the U.S. And you know how Esau Edom like to throw out all. It could always happen over here. This, that, and the third. They know these elites are planning on that. They're banking on that. They're actually going to do that. You know, we don't know exactly when, but that's what they're planning to do. These elites are planning and wanting and going to use power outages to get you people catch you people lacking. And I say that because in Jacob's trouble, there's not going to be a infinite amount of power and electricity, you know. And then you have to think when that MOTB is out, you have to think like these people ain't gonna be able to get their food, their water, their medicine, so on and so forth. You know, hospitals gonna get hit hardest the first because why? Those patients need that electricity. There's people on ventilators. There's people that need that, you know, electricity. Now, granted, as a hospital, they should have generators, but after those generators went out, then what? So anyway, I'm going to start reading. Millions in Spain and Portugal have been left without electricity after widespread power cuts blamed on a rare atmospheric phenomenon. And that ain't no coincidence. That's literally planned out. You know, these elites plan things out. They try to make it seem like it's just a coincidence or it's too many coincidences. So you have to think like maybe it's not a coincidence. Maybe it's actually something that's actually going on. So, and the Americans don't think like that. They don't think, oh, well, this kind of don't. But people are waking up to the fact that these elites are genuinely planning things in front of their faces. And the masses, obviously, usually, oh, it's just a coincidence. Too many things are a coincidence. But anyway, rare atmospheric phenomenon with officials warning that it may take up to a week for things to get back to normal. And that's just a test run. You know, the pandemic was a test run. All of these things that's going on right now, it ain't just no coincidence. It's literally a test run, trial and error. There is no indication that a cyber attack is behind it, and they always blame it on, oh, the Russians are cyber attacking this, that. No, man, no. Even if they was, that's planned out regardless. And these people don't think that. No indication that a cyber attack is behind Monday's large-scale power cuts. Portugal's Prime Minister Luis Montenegro told reporters on Monday. Let me see. The cause of power cuts is still unknown, but it is clear that it did not originate in Portugal, Montenegro said. A rare atmospheric phenomenon was blamed for their power outages. And you know how I was always putting quotations. So it's not a coincidence that their power went out over there. And you probably know what's going on, which affected millions. Portugal's power grid operator, uh, Red Electrica, I'm not reading the rest of that, REN, said in a statement. And yeah, it's not no coincidence. You know, you got to realize Europe, those are one of the hardest places to be in because it's either really cold or really warm. And, you know, over there, now it's granted, it is nice, but over there it's pretty, a lot of places in, all the world have electricity and power and internet. These people survive off of that. Now, granted, over there in the over here in the West, we don't depend on it as much as when we do depend on it. Over there. I said that wrong. Over there in the East, you know, in those Eastern countries, they don't depend on they don't depend on power as much as we do. Now, granted, a lot of them they do depend on it, but over here in America, these people depend on it so much to where they lose their minds if they don't got it. And that's gonna happen. At least in the eastern countries over there, they used to not having power. They it's not a crutch. It's not a necessity. Like a lot of them over there probably know how to farm. They probably know how to do things. But anyway, that still ain't gonna save you. Let me see. Due to extreme temperature variations in the interior of Spain, there are anomalous oscillations in very high voltage lines, a phenomenon known as induced atmospheric vibration. In the statement continued. So I'm just grabbing some precepts now because we know what this is. We know exactly what this is. I gotta go back. Give me a second. We know what this is, man. It's already set up. So first, I'm gonna start off in Matthew chapter 24, because Yahushua prophesied of this too when he was here. It's in Matthew chapter 24 verse. Let me see. I'll start verse 21. Actually, I'll start verse 20. Yeah, actually, verse 20. But pray that ye that your flight or plight be not in the winter, neither on the Sabbath day. Now, granted, this talk about 70 AD because those Romans came in and it's fucking us over. You gotta realize in the Romans, they was catching us lacking on the Sabbath day, so on and so forth. It was catching us lacking on our high holy days because they know we don't do anything on those days. So what they did was they moved on those days and operated on those days. But you got to think, if you know, now granted, we don't know when the Lord's going to do this, but if our plight is in winter, it's the time of Jacob trouble in winter, it's going to be hard, very hard. It's harder than what most people think because you have to realize no power in the winter. The winter, it was back in, I say, the 1800s. Even in ancient society, winter was feared because it's cold, it's constantly snowing. It's not an abundance of heat. And people have to travel in the snow. Now, just imagine no electricity, no direct resources to provide heat, so on and so forth. Verse 21, for then shall be such great tribulation, such as was not since the beginning of the world to this time, no nor ever shall be. Yeah, Jacob's trouble is going to be a time. It's going to be a time like never before. This is what's going to happen. This is what Yahushua prophesied, and also many other Jeremiah prophesied of it too. But he didn't know he was talking about this Babylon. He thought he was talking about that Babylonian captivity he was in. But you know, it always scriptures repeat themselves in many different ways. I'll get Jeremiah 30:7 real quick. Yeah, because I'm going to have to come back and do this video anyway. How I can. This is Jeremiah chapter 30 and verse 7. I started verse 6. Ask ye now and see whether a man doth travail with child. Wherefore do I see every man with his hands on his loins as a woman in travail, and all faces are turning to paleness. And yeah, Jacob's trouble is going to make these so-called tough men weak, and men are going to be scared. Men are going to be not knowing what to do. A lot of these men are going to turn into women, and not just turn into women. A lot of men are going to get sent to the military, go overseas and fight in that war as well. We're going to have a lot of these so-called these high-value men in society, and I'm talking about these men that are of stature. And of stature, I mean that have status and notoriety. That's up. Those men are going to be acting like women. Verse 7, alas, for that day is great, so that none is like it. And yeah, none is going to be like Jacob's trouble. 70 AD ain't got nothing on Jacob's trouble. And the Lord said that. The Lord said to us, 70 AD was bad. You gotta think, 70 AD wasn't no just walk in the park. Oh, yeah, well, they just lit the city up. No, people was getting burned. People was getting, what's the word I want to use? Getting destroyed in there. It was a mosh pit in 78. That's basically what that was. When the Romans put them trenches, digging them trenches, putting them trenches in, and closing the cities of Jerusalem, that was exactly what happened. It was a mosh pit in there. It was a bloodbath in there. I'm going to reread verse 7. Alas, for that day is great, so that none is like it. It is even the time of Jacob's trouble, but he shall be saved out of it. And yeah, the elect are they going to be saved out of Jacob's trouble and protected during Jacob's trouble. A lot of these people ain't going to make it out of Jacob's trouble. A lot of them not. And a lot of these people going to suffer and die horribly, A lot of these people going to suffer and die horribly. And at the end of the day, the Lord is only dealing with the elect anyways. So from there, I'm going to get one last precept, and then Lord willing, I can make a part 2 to this video. So this is 2nd Ezra chapter 15. Well, I kind of want to jump to 6. I'll jump to 16 actually. Then I'll jump back to 15, and then Lord willing, I continue this. But this 2nd Ezra chapter 16 in verse. Let me see. I'll start at verse 38. I know verse 36. Behold, the word of the Lord receiveth it. Oh, receive it, Salakia. Believe not the gods of whom the Lord spake. Behold, the plagues draw nigh and are not slack. And yeah, the plagues that's about to be coming upon this earth are not slack. The Lord's holding back those plagues and pestilence and destruction. With let me see. Oh yeah, verse 38. As a woman with child in the 9th month bringeth forth her son with 2 or 3 hours of her birth, great pains compass her womb with pains. When the child cometh forth, they are not slack a moment. And yeah, when a woman is about to give birth, she had those contractions. She had those pains. When a woman water break is over with, and by it's over with, I mean those pains get greater and greater and greater. We all know what is, everybody should know what it's like when a woman is pregnant in her 9th month. And she's in labor. That's what's being described here. These people is going to be a very difficult and rough time. Let me see. Verse 39. Even so shall not the plagues be slack to come upon the earth, and the world shall mourn, and sorrow shall come upon it on every side. And yeah, at the end of the day, the Lord is going to plague this place. Them plagues are not slack. Those plagues ain't gonna hold back. Those plagues ain't gonna be biased. Those plagues are going to consume heathens. They're gonna consume Jake. All of that. The Lord ain't holding back. The Lord's getting tired of seeing this place. So the Lord is going to have this place going in very many different ways. Verse 40, O my people, hear my word, make you ready to thy battle, and those evils be even as pilgrims upon the earth. And yeah, that's what's going to happen. We're going to be pilgrims upon the earth. We're going to have to go place to place, city to city, so on and so forth. We're going to have to be on the run from the government. That's what's about to happen. And those power outages just the precursor of what's going to happen. You notice each and every year is some so-called coincidence or event that happens that either A, distracts you or it's a test run, So that's what we're dealing with. That's what we're coming into. And ultimately, at the end of the day, the Lord is about to get ready to move on this place. So we have to, us knowing that we're in the truth, we getting ourselves ready day by day for that. That's something. Jacob's trouble is needed. Jacob's trouble didn't already happen. Jacob's trouble will happen. And not just that, it's needed. The elect are wanting Jacob's trouble. We need Jacob's trouble. We need to get these 2/3 out the way. We need for these heathens to go down. We need to be put in our kingdom. We need our kingdom to be established. If a Jake telling you Jacob's trouble isn't, we already went through Jacob's trouble, that he's scared. He's going to be the first ones to take the chip. And not just that, he's going to be the first ones to fold when Edom rolls out. Pursuing the Revelation chapter 12 and verse 12. We did not go through Jacob's trouble, and this time is coming upon us. Even it's coming upon us swiftly and fastly. But Lord, when this video is edifying, I'm going to close out by giving all praise and glory and honor to Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahweh Shai, Ba'ashem, Rakakadash. Lord, when this video is edifying, and on to the next one. Shalom.